It's gonna be good.
Episode 3 of Teddy's Vinyl Club podcast. Not sponsored by Wayfair because I got these chairs from Wayfair. They're like, you're good in there, you're secure.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable.
One of the bolts on this one did not fit in.
Oh.
But she's still sturdy.
Yeah, sounds like Wayfair.
So we're here with T. Who is T? On Instagram, all socials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Give us a brief intro. What you do, where you're from, all that good stuff.
So I live right outside of Philly.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a town called Bensalem, which people that don't live in Philly or, you know, other places don't really know what Bensalem is. But it's just another town, you know. But I'm pretty close to Philly. I went to school for music industry studies and business administration.
Where'd you go?
I went to Albright College in Reading, PA.
Oh, I know Albright. All right.
Yeah, there's like not really much over there besides mountains and like the hood. Like it's one or the other. But yeah, I had like, you know, it was a cool time there. That's where I feel like Albright, that's where I really found myself, and that's the only credit that I will give Albright. And some of the professors were cool.
Not a fan though in general.
No. I had to pay all this money to go there, and it's not like they gave me a job after I graduated, you know? And I feel like schools are supposed to do that.
What was the major again you said?
Music, industry studies, and business administration. But I had a co-major, so I got to pick which one I wanted to go with. So one was either a BA or a BS. So I decided to get the Bachelor's of Science instead, because like it just looks better on paper.
All right.
So
and when you got it, what was your plan? Like, what did you want to do with it?
That's a really good question. I didn't really have a plan 100%. I just knew I wanted to do something creative and be within the music industry.
That's how I feel like a lot of people are when they go into like music or arts. It's like, this is my space and I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, and maybe that's a downfall of doing that, because then it's like, well, what are you going to do next? How are you going to get there? I had internships while I was at school only because we had to have them.
Yeah.
And I was a social media manager for this record label called Nola Blue. It was like a jazz record label based out in Lancaster. But the thing with that is I'm not interested in jazz music at all. Not in the slightest. And they just wanted me to like track the airplay and post on social media, but it was just kind of like reposting things. It wasn't, I'm not the one typing up the captions or designing the flyers or...
Oh, so you're doing like busy work type stuff.
Yeah, basically.
I don't like that.
No, it wasn't, like I didn't really learn much. I kind of just was doing things. And I mean, it was just to satisfy a credit, but I'd rather it be, I'm getting actual experience doing this. But I didn't get that.
All right, so you go to Albright. Bad internship.
Yep.
And then, so how old are you now?
25.
Oh, so it's not that long ago, the Albright experience.
Yeah, no.
All right, so what about since then?
So, well, at Albright, I met my friend Suda, aka Tyler. He was the first person to get me into rapping. He was like, I feel like you could rap. And I was like, what? No.
How do you know that?
Right, I'm saying, like, how do you know that? But how do I know that I couldn't do that, you know? So he was like, you should do something. And for a project, we had to engineer and mix, like, a session.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a song. I kind of had it written already. Not the whole thing, just a part of it, because me and my friends were messing around and we're like, oh, we should make a song about vines where we just reference vines. And so it started off like that. And the name of the song is called Popcorn. It's like one of the first songs that I released. And so I did that. I submitted it to my professor. I'm like cursing in the song. I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about a bunch of different things in the song.
They get it though.
They do get it. And that's what I liked about it, because he was like, this is actually really good. But I was so nervous to show it to him, because I'm like, I'm like saying all these things in it. But he did not care in the slightest, probably because we're grown ass adults at that point. So it like doesn't matter. Yeah, so I did that, and then I started writing more, and then I showed my friend some of the songs that I made. He was like, this is really good. And that's someone that I really looked up to, because when I first saw him perform, I was like, you are so good. Like, I know you have the potential to definitely become someone big.
This is Tyler?
Yeah. And so, you know, him kind of telling me that I was good, I was like, oh, I got it. Like, this is cake then. This is fine. Like, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, and I'm only going to get better.
Right.
So then, you know, I graduated. I am working at Amazon for 2 years, but when I first started working there, I didn't do any music stuff. But one of my goals when I first got that job was to get a laptop so I could start making music at home.
Right.
So I saved up enough money. I got my laptop. Couple, you know, making music in between that time into the next year. That next year, I didn't want to be around the people that I was around. I felt like they weren't as motivated and I don't want to say creative as me, but definitely motivated and like kind of complacent in what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I needed to do something different. So I was hit up by someone that I also went to school with. His name is Hansel, and he put me on to Spit Philly, which is where I work now. They had their first open mic that they ever had, and it was my first open mic that I ever been to. So I went there, I performed, and then the following week I had another open mic where I performed at, and I got in for free because it was my birthday. None of my friends could hang out with me, so I decided to go to the open mic night, and they were like, oh, we'll get you a drink, we'll pay for your ticket, like, it's fine, just come, it's your birthday.
Birthday treatment,
yeah. And, you know, it sucked that none of my friends could be there, but I ended up meeting friends who I'm still friends with to this day. So after that, I had a show that someone hit me up for in New York, and I had never performed in New York. The only time I performed was a fashion show at Albright, and that was one time. So of course I was nervous, but I was building up those little things the week prior with the 2 open mic nights. So I perform in New York. That goes really well. I had to get like 10 people to come out to like basically pay for my spot. If I didn't get 10 tickets, then I would have to pay the rest that I owe, you know? Yeah, paying to perform is very annoying. Yeah, it's like, I'm providing the entertainment. Why do I have to pay? You pay me. So after that, I, you know, performed, and then I started going to open mics frequently, like all the time. And I was just gaining experience and gaining fans too, like people that actually like my music and like, you know, they want to see, oh, what's next for you, like what are you doing? And through doing those things and meeting and networking with people, I've met so many people that have put me on to new experiences or gave me an opportunity to showcase my talent and skills and just build friendships with people that.
So this is like the last year or two, right?
Yeah, basically.
Because I haven't seen you in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like you weren't really like as big in like the whole open mic scene and stuff.
Definitely not. I don't think I was going out to
shows. Yeah, you're in Philly a lot now, right?
Yeah. I don't think I was going to shows when we first met. No. And like we're like hanging out. Definitely not.
Were you still in school when we met?
No, I had just graduated.
Okay.
Because that year, you know, I was like saving my money and doing my thing, and I didn't have to pay like student loans at that time or anything. Right. So I was going to concerts a lot. And then we met at the Saba concert. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good time.
Great show.
Yeah, no, for real. Besides those people like jumping around.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about those people. They're a little crazy. I'm
like, oh my God. Why are we jumping around to this music? It doesn't even make sense to be jumping around.
No, what was the opener before Saba? Amindi?
Amindi, yes. And she was great because I didn't hear her before. I only knew one of her songs.
She's fire.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh yeah. And then I like dove into her catalog.
Yeah, she's dope. All right. So you kind of stumbled into music a little bit. When you went to college for music, were you making music or you just wanted to be in like the production space?
So I didn't know anything about music before I went to college besides listening to it.
So what? You just loved music. That's why you did it.
Yeah, basically. So I went to school. When I was in high school, I went to a technical high school, and I went for culinary. I knew I did not want to be a chef at all. I was just doing it because it was easy, and you know, cooking is a life skill. I know how to cut things and.
But you didn't want to be a chef?
No, I didn't like the hours and things, and like. They would tell me, you know, you would have to be away from your family a lot. You work on holidays, you work very inconvenient times, and I did not want to do that.
What about the stress of it?
That too. That's also another thing. I feel like it is very stressful. I worked at Chili's when I was going to school.
Cooking?
Yeah. I wasn't even like a host or a server. I was a cook in the back, and that was stressful.
I always wondered, how do you get that job? Like, you don't need culinary experience to work, like, cook at Chili's.
Well, I guess it depends. Like, for me, because I went to culinary school, they were like, oh, you
must know.
You know, like, you must know something. And I was pretty young. Like, they hadn't hired a cook that was as young as me. I was 17 when I was working there. And they were like, yeah, sure, you know what you're doing, so you're hired. I'm like, all right.
And also, this is side things between you and me. What's going on with the cooking in Chili's?
Oh.
Like, is food being cooked, or is a lot of freezer to oven type deal?
So, a lot of... it depends what it is. Like, the chicken crispers, those are not from the like, freezer. Those,
really?
You actually make those. Like, you put it in the batter, and then... you put it in the little sauce, you put it in the batter, and then drop it in the fryer. Now, a lot of the other things, like the egg rolls, or they had these little like little cheese balls things. Right. Those also come from a bag in the freezer. Also, the boneless wings.
What's the ratio, would you say, like freezer to actual cooking?
Maybe like 3 to 5, maybe 4 to 5. Even the desserts come from the freezer. We don't actually make the food. There is a lot of prep in the morning, but that's for like the vegetables and things like that. Easy prep, things that you just like cut, or if you're making salsa, like they make the salsa. It's not come in the freezer. Queso comes in a bag. We don't make the queso. Yeah, a lot of things come from a bag.
See, my stress of being a cook would be that like a plate would get messed up, and then I got to redo that plate, and now I'm behind.
Yes.
And people are getting pissed off, and my whole schedule is thrown off.
That's how it goes.
Right.
Or someone else messes it up.
Right.
Like the servers. They didn't put it in right. And then now you have something that is backing you up even more, and you have 30 more orders to fulfill.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah, it was a lot.
All right, so cooking wasn't it for you.
No, but my professor, he was the one to be like, whatever you're passionate about, you should like pursue that. If you want to go to school for music, don't let anyone tell you that you can't.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, all right, let's do that then. So I went to school for music, but I added the business side because I felt like it would be good, you know? It's good to know business related
is always
things.
A good background.
And it also made my mom happy. Like, oh, you're not just going to school for music. Music doesn't make any money. No. So, you know, I decided to add that little aspect to it, which I did learn a lot in my business classes that helped me, because sometimes they coincide with music. If you know business, then you can do music business stuff like marketing, management, finding and building a budget for a touring artist type of thing. You know, those things that really help. Yeah.
All right. And so where are we at with it now? What's current day situation for T?
So right now, I feel like when 2024 started, I was a ghost. I was a part of a group. And I'm like talking so much, but it is a podcast. So
that's what this is for. We want to hear your story.
So I was part of a group, and then I got kicked out of the group, which wasn't the biggest deal. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Now, when you say group, like you guys all made songs together, or like you were just under the same collective kind of?
Yeah. So see, that's the thing. That's a great question.
That's what you got to figure out from the jump.
That is a great question, because no, we didn't make songs together. We tried, but there was no set thing. Like, hey, we're going to book this thing, or we're going to send each other beats and then be on songs with each other. Some of the members within each other did that, but I wasn't one that made music with other people. There was only one other person that I'd made music with, and I knew him before I was in the group. And when I left the group, he left the group with me, because he was one of the people that I met on my birthday when I went to the open mic by myself. Okay. So we just, we became like really close friends, and you know, if you don't like the way your friend is being treated, you're probably gonna leave with them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, we didn't really make music together. I don't have any songs with them besides that one person, and he's not in the group anymore. So it was basically like performing together. They would have shows and events, and we would be able to perform, and for free. We wouldn't have to pay or anything like that. And it would be like a whole spectacle. They would hire drummers to like come and, you know, do their thing. We had live bands sometimes, and the shows were really fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they were really fun to do. It was just a vibe. But also, I knew from the jump that their energy wasn't my energy. I'm very chill and relaxed,
They're a little more hype.
and even in my music, I'm also chill. I'm not jumping around and like dancing and stuff like that.
I feel you. I'm the same way.
I'm here to tell a story.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also here to have fun, but I'm telling my story. That's what music is to me. And other people, you know, they want to talk about what they want to talk about, but where's the substance? I'm a person of more substance. And
You're
if
a
you want to
lyricist.
do that, you said what?
You're a lyricist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I don't think that everyone else in that group is. Now, maybe a couple of people, or maybe if they actually tried to make a song that had more depth, but I feel like they're trying to target an audience. And so they cater their music towards that, which there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not what I do. I just make my music and let people like it.
Well, let me ask you this. Why'd you get involved with the collective in the first place? Sounds like they weren't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I think that I was trying something new. I knew my friend was a part of it. And I knew that if I were to join, that he is more like me. And so it makes me feel comfortable. And it would allow me to be the standout in the group. Because I don't make the same music. I'm not them.
Yeah.
I am very different. And so me joining the group allowed me to be like, hey, I'm here. Like, you could see me. You could see that I'm different from the rest of them. I wasn't trying to fit in or anything. I was just there. I just was myself the whole time, through and through. So I think that's why I joined, to be the outcast. And, you know, for experience, I guess.
Yeah, you should get to network with people, meet new people.
Yeah.
But that can get a little tiresome when you're like the one that's different.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's how it was like when I was working with a record label. It was like everyone made like either trap or like drill music and stuff. And I was just like, dude, I just want to rap over like boom bap and like samples and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that you were a part of a record label.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, it just got to the point where it was like, I feel like I'm the one that just doesn't fit in here, so get me out.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Right. And that's so real. Because if you don't fit in, it's like, what am I? Not that you don't fit in, but that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, okay, I need to be with people that are more like me.
I think it's what it is. I think there's something about, like, surrounding yourself by people that are so different. It's one thing if, like, everyone's different and has their own niche, but it's like if everyone's doing the same thing but you.
The same thing. Yes. Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Well, how do you feel about, maybe not the Philly scene, but music in general, as far as, is everyone doing the same thing? Is everyone doing their own thing?
I know a couple of people that make really good music, and I wouldn't say, there's a lot of people that I could like point out and be like, oh, their music is different. There's nothing that they there's nobody that they remind me of. But I do feel like some people are trying to, that's the thing about music. It's hard because you want to succeed. So like, I don't want to say a good way of doing that is, but finding a target audience, which maybe someone else already has.
Oh, definitely.
So like if I made music like Beyonce, then I would be looking for people that, or like listeners that listen to music that is like Beyonce. So then I would start making music that is like Beyonce. But I'm T. I would make it my own. But I'm still kind of gauging that way, you know, because I want that fan base or something like that. I don't know if everyone thinks like that.
No, I feel like they do, because like, you know, if you want to open for someone. It's like you're gonna find someone that's similar to your sound.
Right, exactly. Even though it could be totally different.
Could be.
Like, it could be someone, I don't know. But then it's like, what are you, does that make sense? Would that make sense if me, a rapper, am a headliner, and then I decide to get a country artist to be my opener? It's like, does that make sense?
You know what I heard yesterday? You know that dude, Teddy Swims? Do you know him?
Yes,
I heard that he got his break opening for Tyler the Creator.
Oh.
Which I heard that and I was like, it sounds like an odd pairing.
Yeah. He's a country artist? Or what is he?
I don't think he's country. He just like kind of like jazzy pop singing.
Oh, okay.
You know the song, I Lose Control? I don't know. I heard it for the first time the other day. But that's his vibe.
I think I do. I think I know that song.
Yeah, he's really talented, really good sound.
But definitely different than Tyler the Creator.
Definitely. So I don't know.
Yeah. What was the original question?
Oh, if everyone sounds the same right now in music.
It depends. I would say mainstream people, yeah, sure. The people that are getting numbers, getting famous, or, you know, just people in that category, the mainstream people, yes. But even when they're not mainstream, because I've been to so many open mics and I get tired of it. I don't want to be here anymore. It's the same thing over and over again. And a lot of the times people don't even wow me. I love when they do, because then I'll go up to them and ask them for their Instagram and stuff like that. Like, oh, maybe we can collab, or I just like your music. I just want to listen to it because it's solid.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I have done a fashion show. I did a fashion show in March. And so maybe looking for people to be a part of something like, oh, hey, we're doing this. Do you want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
I help with the content creation at Spit Philly. And I get people to be a part of like the content wall that we have now with a series called Unreleased. And also we were hosting ciphers. Being like, oh, hey, do you want this opportunity to do this? I think you're really cool. Like, come. And it's like we handpick these people. We don't just let anyone come. Like, we want people that are actually good.
So what do they do exactly? Is it just like video content, ciphers and freestyles and that type of stuff?
Yeah. And, you know, it's a recording studio, but we wanted to like venture out into different things. So the first thing that we started to do, well, that they started to do before I joined, was the open mics. And then it turned into the ciphers, but they are a lot to do. They're a lot to like handle.
To coordinate.
Yes. Getting the people to be there, setting up the mics, recording, mixing the actual tracks of all of it. If someone messes up, then like you gotta do it over again. But the thing is like you're only supposed to give people like maybe they would get 2 takes to do it. But it's like if you mess up, like this is a cipher. Like, it's like, you know, I messed up during mine. They kept it in there because I'm like, I don't mind that I messed up. Like, I don't, and people didn't even realize when I did mess up, but I'm like, I knew that I did. And then, so for the content wall, the Unreleased series, we just ask people if they want to come and perform. We just let them do a song in front of like the content wall, and then we edit the video and I post it on our Instagram. But I want to do what I'm trying to do in there is get more women to be a part of the music production side of music.
Yeah, I saw that you posted something about women creatives.
Yeah.
Right, getting together. What's the idea?
So that is the first step. We're at the first step of the plan, the list. I want to get women that, you know, are artists, singers, rappers, producers, engineers to come out for this session.
You still got your red light on that camera in the corner?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Basically, I would like, you know, pull up a beat or have somebody there that is a producer, that's a girl, make a beat, and then you have all these singers and or rappers. Let's make something. Let's make a couple somethings. Like we could sit right here and rap and make a song real quick, and then, you know, we just had a free session and it's fun. So I just want to get everyone in one place for just that first step, and then basically asking them if they would be interested in learning how to mix, record, engineer, you know, and then providing a class to help them, because someone had asked me, like, how do we get more women and people of color in here that are women, because I feel like there's not a lot of us. I'm the only girl that works at my studio right now, the only one that's an engineer, and I would love for more people to be a part of it, but I didn't know how to do that, and I feel like classes would be the first thing, because people may not know how to do these things.
Yeah.
And same with AV. Like, I have an AV job, and I'm the only woman that is ever working within my company. Like, I haven't seen... Oh, I've seen... There's 2 other girls that work there, but I don't work with them that often. But that's 3 girls out of, like, 25 guys that work for the company. And plus, people I probably haven't seen before. But it's like, how do we make it so we can have more people, more women know how to do these things and get paid for it?
So do you think there's a genuine interest from women to be in that space and they just don't have the knowledge to do it? Or the experience, the exposure, whatever? I
think for some people, I do think about that too. Like, maybe women don't really want to do those things, but I know for sure they would want to engineer, only because maybe they want to engineer their own stuff instead of paying someone to do it. You could just do it by yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I've never had someone or paid someone else to engineer my own music, because I just do it myself.
Right.
And it's a good, it's a good skill to have.
Also, it stresses me out. Like, if I got to do another take, or like I don't like the way something sounded little, I don't like having to be like, oh, can you go back to this? And like, I just want to like get on there and like, I know exactly where I want to be, what I got to fix. Like,
that is so true. Sometimes I start to feel bad. Like, I don't want to have to be like, oh, I got to do it again. And then I get nervous. Yeah. That I have to like, that I'm like, keep messing up, and then I have to do that because someone is like watching me when I could just do it by myself.
That's the way I feel. I like, there's been times where I've done like collaborations with someone where like I show up to a booth, they already have the engineer, they're there, and it's like, let me do that again. It's like, oh, that sounded good. And it's like, no, like, I know I'm gonna do this like 100 times in my bedroom and get it the way I want it to sound.
Honestly. And then you feel like so under pressure too, because there's a time limit on it. Right. Someone is paying for the session. Yeah. So it's just easier when you just know what you're doing by yourself and you have the control to let it be how it is. My issue with engineering is that I am not the best at mastering. I haven't mastered the mastering skill yet.
That's my problem.
Yeah. It's like, I want it to sound like how songs sound on the radio. It hits the ear a type of way.
It definitely does.
It sounds like really full, but like, it just sounds very much together. But when I listen to some of my mix, there's something missing.
I also think, and I can't say this for sure, but I feel like something about it being your own music makes it stand out to you. Like, you know the frequencies in your voice that you don't like, you know all the little stuff that you're self-conscious about, whereas you might show it to someone, they'll be like, no, that sounds fine.
Yeah, that is true. I've definitely showed things to people and they're like, what? That sounds good. And I'm like, you don't hear it?
Like Cam, who we just talked to, he'll always like be like, oh, this mix is shit, and it sounds like phenomenal. And he'll do the same thing to me where I'm like, this isn't ready, and he's like, dude, this sounds fine.
Yeah, it is. We are our own biggest critics. So that makes sense.
So what do you do for mastering now?
I use like...
Lander?
No.
You got somebody?
I have heard of that though. No, I still mix it myself. I still try to master it myself.
Oh, you just
I use just like plugins and things like that and try to make it sound the best that I possibly can.
Do you have Ozone?
Yes, that's what I use.
That's my go-to, and I still don't feel great about it when I'm using it.
Yes, it still doesn't hit the same.
Oh shit, hold on. I got a battery change.
Wait, flip the camera. There we go. Back in business, baby.
I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about. We're both intrigued by the other topic now.
Yeah, no, right.
But anyway. So, do you go to rec a lot?
Yes.
Are you a member?
No, I'm not a member.
What's going on there?
I have friends that go there. I had a friend. Well, two of my friends work there. Mm-hmm. One doesn't really work there anymore, which is bullshit because he puts in a lot of work for a lot of things that he does, and people, even when he's not working there and he's there, people will still come up to him and ask him, like, hey, can you fix this for me? Because they know he's a good guy, and which is annoying.
Does he work for Rec?
He did, but he doesn't anymore because they fired him.
I don't want to down talk Rec on this podcast, but
I
whatever.
mean,
they're not gonna watch that shit. I don't really fuck with Rec.
I mean, a lot of people don't.
Dude, I know so many people that work there and just got like fired like it was nothing. Just
Yes.
you're done.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I think that the reason, at least that my friend got fired, was a disagreement between like manager and person, and it's just like, why is your ego in the way? Mm-hmm. Like, what's your issue? And especially with someone who constantly shows up and does their job and does more than what is expected of them, you were gonna fire them?
Yeah.
For what? What is your reasoning? Like, maybe you need to be fired. So I don't fuck with that person at all because he pisses me off, because I know my friend, I know how he is, and he's a hardworking person, and it's like, for you to fire him, I don't know you. The fuck? I don't know. He pissed me off, but yeah, I don't know. I've heard a lot of things about Rec, about the equipment, about just things.
It's cool. Like, it's definitely cool conceptually, like a space where you can just go, network, create.
Yeah, no, hell yeah. I've met a lot of people there that I am friends with now because of Rec. And they give you, a space to create, which who's gonna be mad at that? No one's gonna be mad at that. You're giving something that people don't have. So that's great. I don't think the price is great. Maybe it's for me. Maybe because I can engineer myself. I'm not gonna pay for a session.
Membership there.
Sponsored.
Yeah, they had like this Comcast business sponsored member thing, and I won. I don't know.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So do you have a membership right now?
I don't know. I haven't been there in like a year. I think it was like a 1-year thing, but then they extended it for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so they emailed me like whatever a couple months ago, like, oh, your membership's extended, but like I don't go there.
Yeah.
Not like anti-rec. I just I'm not really in Philly nowadays.
That's pretty valid. How far do you live away?
It's not far. It's like 20-25 minutes.
Oh, really?
But it's like I said, like I like to record my own stuff. I like to be in my own space. So it's like, what am I going to Philly for? Yeah. Unless like I was going to collab with someone, like I'll go, but
that makes sense.
It's not my first choice.
Yeah. I don't know. And then the whole, them having a I don't know what to call it, but whatever with P. Diddy, because he like kind of like...
He was like helping fund the Miami one.
Yes, yeah. I'm
like, I didn't even think about that. I don't know what happened there.
It's not a good look, but they did say something about it.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah, you can't just let it be. But yeah, conceptually, I think that it's a great idea and it helps creatives. But I just don't... I'm personally not paying that because I can engineer my own stuff.
Right.
The only reason that I think I would pay for it is because where I live, I can't engineer people in my house. So
just to have the space and network.
Yeah, basically. And the events are cool.
Yeah.
You can get into them for free.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be a member. Yeah.
My whole thing, like, so this was kind of Rec inspired in the sense of I want to have a page that's going to give tips and experience and all that sort of stuff from people that are in the space, but more so not like, oh, here's a guy who was fucking Waka Flocka Flames manager. Like, no, like, I want somebody who's like semi-successful, like in the space and like still going through it.
Okay. I like that. And
people who are like one guy I'm going to interview, like he owns a plant shop and like he has 2 of them now. He's like opening a 3rd. Like people that are like going through it right now.
Yeah.
Not like the like millionaire.
Someone. Oh, let me tell you what I did. Not people that have already made it.
Yeah, like people that are very in it but are successful in the sense that they could give you tips and information on what they've done.
I like that.
More so like, I want to start a business. Well, how do I do it? Yeah. Because a lot of people, they'll be motivated by your story and it's good to hear. But I would relate better if it's someone that's going through it, actively doing it and having success rather than like some guy that did it like 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. That's valid.
Also, the ability to have like one-on-one conversations of like a few people, my good friends and other creatives, and have it be, I don't know, collaborative. Like, I like networking events, but I don't like that. I feel like, and I guess depends on how you are as a person, how you interact, but I feel like a lot of times it's just getting everyone in the same room, and like you get names, you get Instagrams, but like there's no genuine connection being made, I feel like.
Yeah. What do you think kind of event would like kind of encourage that instead?
That's what I'm trying to think through. So I haven't even gotten into curating events or anything like that. But and I was talking to Cam about this the other day. It's like when someone starts a Discord, like a community, it's cool because it's like you get your friends in there and then a couple people, oh, he sounds like he would like this. But then it gets to a point where it's like 1,000 people on a Discord that I don't know, and like everyone just sent, and it's just like I feel like it loses the whole familiarity and like the whole community sense.
Yeah.
Now it's just a bunch of people. So I'm trying to find a way to make it more
intimate,
for sure.
That's so valid. That's so the fashion show that I was talking about earlier, I curated it with my friends. We have a group called The Glue. It's not like we're not like a rap collective or like things like that.
This is a new collective?
Yes and no. Because I was in it while I was in the other group.
But it's okay. All right.
But it's more creativity based. So there's people that do hair, there's people, and this was just a friend thing. Like we were friends and we all do something like creative,
right.
And we're like, oh, let's make a group called The Glue. But basically like what we want to do is be a creative staffing agency where people can just hit us up and ask us for the things that they need, and then we provide it for them. So me and my friend Kyrie, we did this fashion show. I came up with the idea with another person. We were just talking about it because she does modeling and I know rappers and things like that. The thing about this girl, I don't even care because I don't give a fuck about her because she's a bitch.
This girl's in the collective?
No, she's not.
Okay.
She's not. Oh my God, she would never be invited. We don't deal with people like that, immature people. Fuck no. So we decided to do this thing together. She was unreliable in the fact that I couldn't rely on her to communicate, to plan this out. And the way that we did it, so say we had it in March, but it was supposed to be in February, and we started having the idea and trying to plan for it in January. It wasn't enough time for February. So I was like, Kyrie, I need you to help me. He's really good with like logistical things and planning shit out. So, you know, we sat and talked and we planned it out, pricing for tickets, like what we need to get, all the logistical stuff of it, which I feel like she couldn't necessarily provide for me because she had so many other things going on. That's why I brought him on. Our other friend, Maya, who's also, the both of them are both rappers. It's Kyrie, he goes by King, and then Maya goes by Hardly Famous Maya. So, which, by the way, I have a song with her coming out very soon. It's called it's called Stamina, and there's a music video.
When's it drop?
That's the thing, we don't know yet.
TBD.
It should be at the end of July, which is very soon. So
all
probably the beginning of August.
Oh, remind me, I got a master guy if you need master.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty cheap. He's really good.
Okay.
Remind me.
Bet. All right. Yeah, I'll have to bring that up. So anyway, the four of us are planning this show. It's going fine, whatever. She's still hard to communicate with, and she's like, she starts like beefing with Maya basically, and there's like this like tension and shit that she's saying to Maya, and she's being rude to her, and then starts being rude to the rest of us. And it's like, girl, what is wrong with you? Like, there's something wrong with you. There's something not right in your head. And 3 days before the show was supposed to happen, she drops from the show. And she had brought on 3 designers for the show, pulled them out with her. We're like, all right. Just like, you know, we stayed calm about it, but we're just very annoyed because it's like, yo, we kind of felt like you were going to do that. So luckily, We just hit up 3 more designers who already had stuff made, and they came to the show. The show was sold out. But the thing about the show, it was an intimate event. So we capped the tickets and we offered tickets to our friends first.
Where'd you host it?
It was at like where Rec Philly originally was this like warehouse.
I know about it. I don't actually know the location, but
yeah, it's called like Windows or something like that. And we talked to this guy and he let us use like the space that they had there. And it was like a rustic, well, not rustic, but I don't really know how to describe the vibe, but it was a vibe. And we decorated it, put like leaves everywhere and vines and things like that because it was called the Eye of the Beholder. So like, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Whatever you think fashion, beauty, music, things are to you, then, you know, whatever. So, yeah, so she dropped out, pulled the people with her, and we had to figure out what to do with the show and how it was going to be ran. And also she blocked us on everything and then changed the group chat name to like her name, Hate Club. Like, girl,
she's got a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, I think.
I am saying she really like, and not all of us, but I definitely was like, bro, if I see her again, at this point I don't care anymore, so I'm not gonna do anything because I'm not like heated, but I'm like, bro, if I see her again, I'm gonna punch her in the head. Like,
that's crazy.
I swear to God, like, ain't nobody pissed me off that much before. It's hard to piss me off, like to genuinely piss me off, and she got it. She did it. So, but it's just like, why would you do this? Like, what kind of person are you? Like, she felt like everyone was against her. Like, girl, no.
Yeah, she's got something else going on.
Yeah, so that was that. But I'm glad the show went really well.
When was that?
In March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like, actually, we didn't need you, but thanks. So I hope that she knows that.
Best of luck to her in the future.
Yeah, best of luck.
So, what do you see? This is what I want to know. Do you see music like being an artist as a full-time thing? Or do you see it where you want it to be a part of your life and you're doing other things? What's your vision for that?
I think I would only become an artist if I was kind of like thrown in the position. Like if my songs blew up.
So you don't consider yourself an artist now?
No, I do. I just don't. Right now, I haven't really been writing or anything. I haven't been making music. I've been focused on like planning events and things like that. Because I know I really like music and I like that I was able to put my feelings in a song and just, you know, kind of release them in that way. I know that if I was a part of a record label that I'm not sure if I would actually want to do that. Being forced to write music when you're not feeling it, I don't know if that would be for me. I can't force something that's not going to happen. And if I'm signed into like a 2-year deal or whatever, and I have to make 2 albums in 2 years, I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to do that because I go based off experiences and the things that are happening. I just wouldn't want to be locked in to something like that. So I would be okay with being on the business side of things and helping people grow, like putting my energy into seeing someone do really well. Like I would like to be kind of like the backbone to an artist that I think is really good. So I would be an artist manager. I would also be like a touring manager. I would want to plan something or even just plan events. Hopefully like something more creative wise. But I think that is the direction that I'm going in right now, only because I need something very much stable right now. Like my job is not it. And I would love for a job where I'm allowed to be creative and be able to think outside the box. That would make me feel more fulfilled with things in life, and also working with kids. But those could go hand in hand. Like I could be planning events for kids and like, you know, I want to teach people and help people, people feel good about themselves. And my music does that on its own, just by me going through my life experiences. So I wouldn't want to force anything that is not meant for me, you know? Yeah. So definitely still an artist, but a part-time artist.
No, I definitely feel like you have an energy or a passion for more like the curating of events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just based on what you told me. And I was the same way. I feel like a lot of times when you first start making music, you just do it and you don't really know where it's going necessarily. But then as I did it more and had whatever, all the experiences that I did, yeah, it was the same thing. Like, I don't want music to be contractually obligated, like, to give to you or to make it at a certain time. 'Cause that's the whole thing for me. Like, music is, I do it when I feel it.
Yeah.
Or when I have something that I want to talk about specifically. It's like the whole thing of, like, you have to release, this many projects in this amount of months. I just don't think it works. And the other thing is, you see so many people who are, like, at the top of the top, and they're still having those same issues.
Yeah.
As far as not being happy with their contract, not being happy with withholding, or not being able to put out music, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, honestly, and it happens all the time.
Mm.
And people are like, they get stuck in it. But then a part of me doesn't feel bad for them that they get stuck in not wanting, like, maybe they are having they're just going through something that is preventing them from making music. Not that part. I mean the part where you sign to a label. Mm-hmm. I feel like everyone knows what that comes with at the end of the day. You know what you did. Like, and so for people to complain about it, it's like, you're the only person that puts yourself in this position. Unless you were coerced.
Yeah.
Then you need to call the police. Like, but other than that, you did that.
Yeah.
You could have, negotiated something different. Like, I don't want that kind of fame. I would not want to be signed to a label like that.
No.
I like, maybe a label that is like, it's okay and like people know what it is, but it's not like the greed and the way that it's ran, the bad part of the music industry. I wouldn't want it to be like that.
That was my whole thing when I got my record contract offer. It was like, I was very much kind of the bottom of the totem pole, like the lowest. I didn't have anything to like stand on really. So it got into all that stuff of, oh, you're going to release at this point, we're going to give you this budget. And it was like I'm not getting any like freedom creatively, or any respect really. And I guess I kind of weighed, this would still be a really good opportunity for networking and like getting a foot in the door. But then it's like, what do you lose in the process?
Yeah.
Because like even my music, like, it wasn't happy music. It wasn't good.
Kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had to.
Yeah. And I feel like...
And that's not what music should be at all, in the slightest. And maybe that's why some people's music is the way that it is. For example, not to hate on her because I don't mind her music, but like Ice Spice, for example, it's like, we are not talking about anything that is substantial, and I know that she makes music for just to like dance to, just to have fun with, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely songs of mine where I just want, like, I'm just rapping because I'm trying to have fun, like Popcorn, talking about Vine references and shit like that. That's just, it's a fun little song. But my whole catalog is not like that.
Yeah.
You can listen to other things and be like, oh damn, she's really spitting, or damn, she's really telling a story. Things like that. And I feel like that's what music should be, but it's kind of strayed away from that, and we just rap about whatever. And maybe it's because people are signed into labels, and then you have the people that are like up and coming, or just underground, and I feel like they try to model their like raps off of those people that are like that, thinking like, oh, this is what's gonna get me in there. I gotta rap about this.
Well, a lot of people say that the music industry is oversaturated, which I would say I agree with, but also, like Ice Spice, for example, I couldn't name an Ice Spice song. Like, I'm so, like, mainstream music to me is just so, I don't know what's trending, I don't know what's on the radio. Like, I listen to whoever I want to listen to, like the Mac Millers, the Sabas, Amines, whoever.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't really stray out of that space.
That's valid.
So like, I feel like it's oversaturated, but at the same time, there's so much music now, and everyone has the opportunity to make it, that it doesn't really matter. Like, you can still get your own little niche fan base.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I just wish that they would. And, maybe these people don't want that kind of attention, but I wish that they would give those people the same kind of attention that they give other people.
Well, the whole thing is now I feel like the music industry is backwards in the sense of they used to kind of identify talent, and then it's like, okay, we really believe in you. Let's build a fan base around you. Now it's like you build it yourself. You get the Instagram followers, TikTok followers, and then we're going to build your image around that.
Yeah.
Because I forget who I was listening to. It was some sort of record label exec, and they were pitching someone. A manager was pitching them someone's music, an artist that they managed, and they said, you should listen to this guy's music, da 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 da. And they're like it has nothing to do with music anymore. Like, it's like, how many TikTok followers do you have? Like, what's his biggest video?
Like, what? Why does that matter?
That's what it is, because there's money. They just want to make money off the person.
I know. They've always been like that. They've always been so greedy.
Like, you turn on the radio, dude, I say it all the time, but, like, there's literally people on the radio that you hear nowadays, and it's like, they can't even, like, keep a beat. Like, they can't even stay in time. And it's like, I don't get it, but whatever. Someone's making money, so I guess it's working.
Someone, not me, though.
I might be too old, too.
Could be.
I looked at, like, the headliners for a music fest recently. I forget which one it was, and I maybe knew, like, one person on there.
Damn.
And, like, I just heard of them. I wasn't, like, familiar with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, there's just so many artists now.
Are you on social media often or no?
No.
Yeah. I genuinely think that's the only reason that I know things
and I
that I
don't
know.
follow anybody.
Yeah.
It's like it's
better that way.
I got really into the idea of it's maybe just not good to expose yourself to. I don't think your brain needs to do all that.
No,
just
definitely
knowing
not.
what everyone's doing, people that you met one time, like now I'm involved in their life. Like, no, I just want whoever I'm friends with, whoever I talk to, whoever I really admire, appreciate what they do. But besides that, like, we're cool. I can see you and say what's up. We can work together, but like, I just don't need to see your day to day.
Right.
And that's probably why I'm such in like this small space of the artists that I listen to and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that though. Like I think it's better that way, because I know for me, sometimes when I'm on like Instagram too much, I see what people are doing and I don't get upset, but I'm just like I could be doing so much more. Like, I could be doing this, I could be doing that. I see what they got going on. I want to do that. And then like I get this way. I feel a type of way because people are doing big things, which I'm proud of them. I'm not really the jealous type. Like, I don't get jealous over it, but I'm just like, I want to do that too, and I could. But it's just like, if I didn't see it, I wouldn't be thinking about it. I would just be doing the things that I want to do. But now I see someone else do it. Now I'm like, oh, well, I want that. It's like giving what salespeople do, selling someone something that they didn't know that they need because they don't really even need it. And if you didn't see it, then you don't have it and you don't need it if you weren't even thinking about it before.
So how do you feel about social media in general? Like, do you like it? Do you try to stay off of it? What's your opinion?
Yeah, so, I mean, I like it for promoting myself. I definitely try to stay off it. I have a time limit on Instagram.
Yeah?
So I can, like...
That's what I need to
get off of it.
Because I'm in the same space. Like, I want to post my stuff and then really just... I wish I didn't even have it on my phone.
Yeah. But then...
I don't like having to, like, re-download it every time I want to post something.
Yes, right.
But if I could, I would just not even have it.
Yeah. And then it's like... Once you do post something, like, you could post something and then not go on Instagram, but then it's like you need to like respond to people, like, especially like as an artist. Yeah, you have to engage. And even like people message me. I mean, I engineered a studio, so if people wanted to book a session with me, I have to be on Instagram. I'm not giving out my number to everyone.
Yeah,
like, there's no way I'm doing that. So that's also another thing. It's like I have to be on it, which I don't necessarily want to all the time. I just get like, I think, like brain rot, what they be saying about like being on TikTok and watching reels and things like that. And I can kind of feel that sometimes. I feel like people are slow. They're way more slower than they used to be. Like, we're just like losing it.
And there's definitely a weird attention span thing going on with all the shorts and reels and all this 60-second digestible content.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know that we're supposed to be doing that, especially for stuff like people are getting their news that way now.
Yeah.
Like, you get 90 seconds of what's going on in whatever Ukraine. Like, it's like, I think we need to like really sit down and hear what's going on.
Yeah, no, right. I will say I don't like watching the news though. That's not where I get my sources.
No. Where do you go?
That's the thing. I don't even know.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Like, I don't watch the news. I know that for sure.